Out, only 2 defeats with 2 draws. De Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, the former middleweight world champion, former junior middleweight world champion, former light heavyweight world champion, now recognized by Ring Magazine as champion, the reigning, defending WBC, WBA, WBO super middleweight champion of the world, Saul Canelo Alvarez.
Gentlemen, I gave you instructions in the dressing room. You know what I expect of you both. Keep the fight clean. Obey my commands, most importantly. Protect yourself at all times. Shake hands, boys.
All right, William Skull, undefeated, unknown, but undeterred. Could he possibly become undisputed? Or will Canelo Alvarez treat him like an uninvited guest to a Saudi Cinco de Mayo fiesta? Every single belt is on the line. Here we go for the undisputed super middleweight championship of the world.
Sergio, I know what you're saying about using footwork, using distance. And to me, that's a recipe to survive this fight, to win it. I think William Skull is going to have to get out of his comfort zone. He's not going to out-accurate Canelo Alvarez. He's not going to hurt Canelo Alvarez, but he's got to try, I think, to overwhelm Canelo Alvarez. He averaged 30 punches per round in his last fight against Vladimir Shishkin. He's got to try to come close to doubling that to have a chance to win this fight.
Well, if Skull tries or attempts to sell out, he's going to get closed down by Canelo, because this is what Canelo does. He starts off slow. He starts ripping the body. He makes that ring smaller and smaller until he starts breaking down opponents and ultimately knocking him out.
I think Skull's also going to have to try to win these early rounds to put himself in a position. Canelo is a notoriously slow starter. Skull, a bit of a sluggish finisher. You saw that 12th round against Shishkin. He was hurt. He was tired in that 12th round of a championship-level fight.
Well, Skull was mostly respectful in the build-up to this fight, but did give a little trash talk saying he was going to eat Canelo Alvarez, and Canelo responded, the only thing he's going to eat is my fist. Let's see how aggressive Canelo is against the fleet-footed Cuban. Canelo fighting on a new continent for the first time. Fighting here in Asia. Yes, Saudi Arabia is part of Asia. Canelo's also shown interest perhaps in fighting in the UK sometime soon. But first things first, win back the IBF title that, Chris, I know you're not too happy about him having lost in the first place.
I'm indifferent. Mandatories, they come and go. See William Skull opening up in this orthodox stance. You'll see him switch stances throughout the course of this fight.
And look at the presence in Canelo. Not even punching anything, but Canelo just right in front of him, waiting for Skull to make any kind of mistake, give him any kind of opening, just like that. Canelo try to sweep with a left hook. Skull better keep that chin down. He has a habit of punching and pulling his head back, keeping that chin exposed. Canelo will try to sweep him with a wide left hook.
Canelo's so methodical, so precise, economical with his punches. He makes every shot count. Skull not exactly trying to take this fight by the scruff of the neck here in round one. Canelo has beaten 4 reigning super middleweight champions in his career. Rocky Fielding, Callum Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, and Caleb Plant. Skull would become his 5th if he can get the job done here in the early morning hours in Riyadh.
Skull is looking to counter something that Canelo is not really committed to right now. Canelo's not attacking anything. He's just judging the distance, judging the range, looking for the right shot to explode, not wasting any punches. lot of nervous energy from William School right now, moving around, but not really doing anything or taking initiative with that jab yet.
Sergio, nice. Started with a right, ended with a left upstairs. And maybe School needs to be hit with a big shot to wake him up to get going. Conventional wisdom says if you don't win the early rounds against Canelo, you're not going to win the late ones.
And if you remember, Canelo's been dropping everyone early. You know, 4 out of his last 6 opponents have been dropped in the first 3 to 4 rounds. Good body shot there by Canelo.
You saw William School feeling that. Dropped his hands now to keep that left arm low.
School saying his game plan tonight is to make Canelo uncomfortable.
Well, he's switching southpaw for a moment, just trying to give a different look, but nothing coming out of that left-handed stance. So right now, it's Canelo can control and definitely the more comfortable fighter.
Canelo always patient in the ring, just a predator, walking his opponents down. You know, he has the couple losses on his resume, a couple draws on his resume, but as a super middleweight, he's 9-0, and he
tries to pick up the pace a little bit. Just kind of barking to some of his fans in the crowd. Thought he had some success right there at the end of the second round. The judges probably thinking differently.
Well, just because nothing's really landing heavily on both sides doesn't mean he's having success. Canelo still lands some a body shot at the end of that round. That's probably enough to sway around when nothing's happening. Just like that. That's another solid body shot.
And you know, Sergio, the fastest way, or the best way to slow down a mover is to target that body. Canelo, of course, knows that. We've seen throughout the first 2+ rounds, Canelo routinely looking to go downstairs.
School has a good right hand. It's a solid right hand. It's strong. You know, there's not much power behind it, but there's timing behind it and accuracy. And with his size, he's a strong puncher. Even though he's not knocking guys out, he still gets the respect. So he needs to unleash that right hand and try to land it on Canelo just like that. It could be a hook, it could be straight, it could be at the body, but you got to keep this Mexican off you. Keep this fight in the middle of the ring as well.
School appearing to get a little more comfortable right now. But he made it very clear, Chris, that he wasn't going to try and make mistakes. He wasn't going to do things differently than he has his whole career. He's going to be very judicious with his punch selection.
He's not an accurate puncher, and Canelo is an accurate puncher. Canelo is certainly a judicious one in this kind of phase 2 of his career, but he makes up for the lack of activity with incredible accuracy. Really, outside of Dimitri Bivol, nobody in recent years has outlanded Canelo Alvarez.
Many Mexicans and Mexican Americans making the trip all the way here to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to support the face of boxing.
Yeah, it was a fun crowd at the weigh-in. Fans here to support Canelo Alvarez, also Jaime Munguia, Marco Verde on the undercard.
Yeah, it was good to see Canelo back in the dressing room, giving Jaime Munguia his props, supporting him.
I love that, man. Giving props to a former foe. And just respect. It has nothing to do with the bloodline. It's just respect between both champions.
School, a well-traveled fighter. He's from Cuba, had his first 9 pro fights in Argentina. 9 of his last 10 have been in Germany. Had nearly 400 amateur fights before turning pro back in 2016.
And you can see him picking up a little bit of style from every country he's been to. You know, every country has their own style, their own punching. The Europeans fight really upright. Argentinians are really strong. You know, they like single punches to the body. Mexican style. There's a clash of styles. Canelo's going to have to figure out this tricky Cuban.
Well, this is for the undisputed super middleweight title. Let's check in with Claudia, who's with the undisputed light heavyweight.
For beating Canelo. Not throwing a lot of punches and having most of those punches being blocked jabs is not a strategy that's going to be.
Yeah, but Beterbiev has one of the best jabs in boxing. He has some of the best. Bivol has one of the best jabs in boxing. In and out style, footwork. So it's not just throw more punches. It's throwing the right punches at the right time in an in and out style where Canelo can't catch a rhythm.
I would disagree. Andy had size and a power advantage very few opponents have on Canelo.
Well, School's got the size advantage for sure.
Yeah, but he's fighting squared up. See, and that's why Canelo's taking advantage of that body squared up against the ropes. You need to get in an angle with Canelo. Don't give him that body. Then you can fight in and out instead of laterally.
These are good body shots. Canelo's just staring at that midsection, looking for opportunities.
Trying to close the distance is Canelo. Patiently stalking School. Trying to cut the ring off, forcing the Cuban to engage. The more punches School throws, the more openings Canelo will have. Going to the body, and every time he hits him, you see School drop those arms and kind of scatter out of there.
Canelo just missed with that right hook. It grazed the ribs of School.
If he does drop School in this fight, Sergio, will it be to the body or to the chin?
I think he's gonna hurt him to the body, but it has to be a chin shot because he's just setting him up for something over the top. That's what Canelo does. He's so patient. He'll keep fighting your fight until you give him an opportunity, and then he'll pounce on you. Canelo's become a power puncher. You know, he looks for that single shot now. He's not an explosive combination puncher like he was in his younger days. Now he uses experience and old bull mentality. His presence is what breaks fighters down and makes them forced to make mistakes.
Yeah, it's evolved.
Oh, nice right hand there from School. And he flexes a little bit. Every shot he lands, Chris, he acts like he won the World Cup.
It was a good right hand, but it didn't land.
Canelo Sergio has evolved defensively significantly too. Daniel Jacobs can speak to this. Like when he was in his prime years, like when he fought Jacobs, he would slip a lot of shots. Movement would be part of his defensive repertoire. Now, it's more about parrying. It's more about blocking. He's not as elusive as he used to be, but you still can't get to him. He still has great defense. Great
radar. You know, it's just a good eye. He doesn't move. See right there, he doesn't move out of the way. He just slowly pulls it and parries the punch. Little by little, he's gaining information. He's gaining the rhythm, the speed. You know, he's inching closer and closer to landing that big punch. All these wasted rounds, you know, it's investment for Canelo. It doesn't look like much, but when School's not doing anything, he's winning these rounds on presence.
Let's check in with Daniel Jacobs. What are you seeing here, Danny?
Well, from my analysis, I can see Canelo being a stalker and preying on this guy, but Skull needs to really continue to punch more. I think that will be his success because he's a good boxer, very athletic. As you can see with this quick uppercut, he's very, very talented, but he needs to throw more. He needs to be like a guy that's assertive and making sure that he knows and the judges know that he's a victim.
Every time William School does that stop-start with his footwork, a bunch of gold glitter sprays all over the ring. Don't know if you can see it on camera. But it was interesting, in between rounds, you heard Eddie Reynoso saying, we're going to stop this guy. And in the past, Canelo's dropped his last 5 opponents, Sergio, but he has said, listen, when I've dropped him, the reason I haven't really gone for the kill is because Eddie Reynoso's told me not to be patient. So tonight, though, it's Reynoso saying, go get him.
Yeah, both these guys haven't stopped the fighter since 2021. But the confidence in the corner of Canelo, just praying and stalking, being patient, they're seeing something that School is not, or that we're not. Because right now, Canelo's he's actually becoming too patient because he's not even jabbing his way in, trying to pop him.
Hey, Chris, a lot of criticism from last night's card about the lack of punches thrown. Canelo's only thrown 38 and landed 12.
He's being judicious with his shots, but the School numbers are far more glaring. Like, he's not throwing any.
Well, he's throwing, he's not landing.
Throwing that many either.
We give Canelo the benefit of the doubt because we know what he can do with the punches that do land. There's a couple.
See, this is the frustrating side of the Cuban school of boxing. They have so much talent and ability, size, power, but they sometimes move a little bit too much. They box a little bit too much, defensive-minded a little bit too much.
Right hand to the body there from Canelo. Those will start to add up, and he's putting a lot behind those shots as well, sitting down on those punches.
And Sergio, we've seen a variety of different Cubans over the years. We've seen the ultra elusive, if you want to call it that, in Arislandi Lara.
Right hand, a counter shot.
Irmo Rigondeaux. But we've also seen Luis Ortiz, Yuriorkis Gamboa, Andy Cruz becoming a pretty good action fighter as a professional. as far as I can see from Williams School, he is cut from that ring and down block.
Lara started becoming an exciting puncher once he got older. And he's still a champion in his 40s because he got flat-footed. He doesn't have the legs.
Rounds in the books. How do you have this one scored?
Yeah, I've got it 5 rounds to none in favor of Canelo Alvarez. That last round was probably the best round that Williams School's had. Landed that short uppercut, but the body shots of Canelo, I just thought won him the round, and he's just been in complete control. Williams School is doing kind of what I thought he was going to do, which is move around a lot, fight off the jab.
Oh, there's a right hand best punch of the fight for School.
Or that, and maybe we can get this fight a little more competitive.
It's a really good shot by School. He pretended to jab just to come with a half uppercut, 45-degree punch. Awkward combination. That's the reason that right hand landed. See, this is where Canelo needs to start jabbing the chest and the torso of School. Stop him from moving. You know, the more he moves, the more confident School's going to get.
Good body shot there from Canelo.
Answered back by School, who again flexes. Canelo did give School his flowers, so to speak, this week, saying, look, he's going to be hard to figure out. He's here for a reason. This will not be an easy win.
This is champion versus champion. I mean, you got to respect the ability of School. Even though it's frustrating, you have to respect what he's doing so far. He's not engaging. He's not giving Canelo what he wants, and he's punching back anytime Canelo gets his.
This punch back that time, that was a good body shot again, Canelo Alvarez. These body shots are starting to add up.
No, Canelo's getting the better of it. That's why he's winning these rounds convincingly, but School's trying to punch back at least. See, just like that.
This is the most active round by far here in the 6th for both fighters. School became the #1 with the IBF by beating Yevgeny Shevchenko back in July 2022, and it was 27 months until he got his shot at the belt. So he's patient both in and out of the ring. School promised to break Canelo's rhythm. Is he doing that, Sergio?
No, but he's trying to frustrate him. I don't think you can break Canelo.
He's frustrating all of us, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
But hey, this is what he does.
This is strategy, exactly. I mean, you look at his record, you look at the guys he's fighting, how he wins. This is his style. He's a spoiler. He doesn't commit to punches. Even that jab right there where he flicks it out, he's not committing to it. He's not trying to land it. He's just trying to annoy you. Just get out of the way, not win the round, but not get hurt either.
He's not here to win.
No, he's not.
He's not here to win.
No, he's not here.
I think he thinks he's winning, Chris. I disagree. I think he's winning these rounds. He thinks he is.
Fight that's basically going to script. We have to acknowledge why we're here, and that's because of the IBF. We made Williams School its mandatory challenger to Canelo last year with no quality wins on his resume, which positioned him to win that title. This is the same IBF that made Karen Shukadzian the mandatory against Boots Ennis after he wiped him out. Then Kamil Zarameta made him the mandatory against Gennady Golovkin. If you're willing to do this IBF eliminator dance, they will rocket you up their ranking. It's completely ridiculous. Like, this is the same sanctioning body that has a guy named Michael Eifert set up to be roadkill for the winner of the third fight between Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev, that has 10 fighters ranked ahead of Diego Pacheco and Christian Mbili at super middleweight, that has George Kambosos, who has one fight at 140 pounds, ranked 7 spots ahead of Dalton Smith. Look, years ago, the WBO once ranked a guy named Darren Morris, who was dead at the time that they ranked him. I feel comfortable saying the IBF's current ranking system is measurably worse.
Attaboy, Chris.
Chris is headed out. Headset down, he's headed outside. Meanwhile, Canelo trying to cut the ring off, landing some body shots here on School, who continues to try and stick and move and dance. But Canelo has made a career out of not getting frustrated.
And these body shots are winning the fight for Canelo. I mean, as frustrating as it is, he keeps aiming at that midsection, and they keep landing because the little pot shot that School's tries to come back with, it's not enough. Canelo's getting the better of it every time in the body.
think I'm wrong, Sergio. Do you think that Skull thinks he's doing great right now?
Somehow, some way, I really do. You know, some guys think they have success because they're not getting knocked out by Canelo, because they're not getting hit cleanly by Canelo.
He'll say, look at the stats. I've landed one more punch than he has. What do you mean he's won every round?
These moral victories need to stop against Canelo. You know,
Power to the body lands.
Nice left there from Skull. Boy, he just does not stop moving. Give him that.
A lot of these guys that didn't come to win, Edgar Berlanga, Jermell Charlo, you know, moral victories don't do it, man. I mean, you got the payday, at least try to get some respect. Try to get something that you can leave your confident with, prideful with. Head up in the air on the championship level, one of the best fighters in the world, instead of just moving around for 36 minutes.
Again, I'll disagree. I think in his mind, he thinks not only is he trying to win, I think he's going to go to the ring. Let's see if Canelo tries to turn up the heat. When he fought Jaime Munguia, he was right there in front of him. Hey, he gave Skull a round.
Yeah, I gave Skull the last round, mostly because of inactivities by Canelo. 69-64 favor Canelo Alvarez. William School may think he's winning, he's not. I don't think Canelo is fighting any kind of brilliant fight, but the power shots to the body have been a big difference maker for him, and very little that William School has done has really counteracted that.
I agree, those body shots, they're are in between, they're not much, but that's a lot more effective than anything William School's doing.
Just missed him with the uppercut as Canelo landed his body shot. Boy, the referee's way far away from the action, isn't he? Might as well be sitting in the front row. Not even on the screen.
What does he have to be near?
Oh, look there from Canelo. But School told us he was going to do this. There's no surprise here. I'm not going to stand and trade with this guy. I'm going to hit him, make him miss, and that's the name of the game. Sergio, you know this better than anybody. Hit and don't get hit.
I get it, yes, but you're also here to win a fight. You know, you're also here to win a fight. You want to frustrate, you want to move, you want to use all your assets, all your attributes. And yes, he's using everything he has. And he's showing some guts by countering off the ropes like that, but they're not landing. Those punches are not landing cleanly.
Canelo's had success against big fighters, tall fighters in this division. Rocky Fielding, Callum Smith come to mind. There's another big guy in front of him in William School. El Indomable.
And he has experience fighting a Cuban that has tried to frustrate him. Back in 2014, he fought Erislandy Lara, a highly competitive fight in the ring, close on the scorecards. Canelo came away with a win that night, but I think that gave him a bit of a lesson on what these kind of Cuban fighters try to do.
Yeah, but Lara at least was, sniping him with 1-2s.
I agree. No, Lara was trying to win, and Lara, to this day, will make the argument that he did win that fight.
And he makes a great case for winning that fight, or at least the draw. But this man is not trying to win. He's not controlling with that jab. He's not throwing a 1-2. He's herky-jerky, moving around the ring, not getting hit with anything cleanly upstairs. But those few body shots Canelo are landing are enough to win the round.
Point. The referee, I don't know if you can hear that, he said, let's fight. There's too much running around. I love that. Why not?
I like that. I like that from a referee. I've heard that from referees in the U.S. before, where in the middle of a fight, say, hey, let's fight, action. I like that from the referee. And trust me, he's not delivering that message to Canelo Alvarez.
Hope those of you watching around the world celebrating Cinco de Mayo or watching the pound for pound, some say pound for pound king, face of boxing Canelo here on DAZN.
Enough. Listen, pick them up, okay? Pick them up.
School claimed low blow on that one. He kind of leaned back. That's what Canelo was arguing, which made that punch stray possibly a little below that belt line.
Sergio, is there anything more Canelo can do to force School to engage more?
No, really, because Canelo doesn't have the foot speed to close that distance, close that gap. And that's always been the complaint with Canelo, you know, the heavy feet. This man does well whenever someone wants to fight him, whenever he can actually get a guy to plant his feet in exchange. But whenever someone's not exchanging, just moving and jabbing here and there, twos and twos, it's very frustrating.
Right hand from School just misses as the crowd trying to urge Canelo on. Here in his 67th pro fight, he does have 39 knockouts. They'd love to see number 40.
That body shot right there, that was a clean, hard body shot that landed without being blocked. Shots like that will sway around, that School's doing nothing.
CompuBox numbers through 8 rounds. Power shots thrown, Alvarez with more. Look at the body shots, 27-4.
That's going to win the fight for Canelo in the inside fight, the body shot.
Canelo blocking that right hand as he moves forward, trying to get School against the ropes. Now out in the corner, and that's when he can unload 2 of them and it dropped the hands of School, who gives him a smile.
Yeah, that was the first time I think we've seen combination punching to the body from Canelo.
School trying to showboat. I'm telling you
He's
guys.
complaining. Well, he also was complaining to the referee again about a low blow. There was no chance that last punch was below the belt.
There's one thing that annoys me more is like when a fighter complains or looks for the referee for help. The man that's fighting you is right in front of you. He hit you low, go get it back.
Yeah, it's one of the few sports in the world that if you don't like what your opponent is doing, you can punch him in the face.
Like this is the fight game, man. I mean, what are you complaining for? It's not a war of words. You got 2 fists. Go punch the man right where he punched you. You have a problem? Go get it back.
Right hand lands for Canelo right before the bell as we head to the 10th.
Round 10.
Round 10 scheduled for 12. William School, the IBF super middleweight champion. Canelo's got all the rest of the belts, but he wants to get the IBF back so he can become a 2-time undisputed champion in this division. The first 4-belt undisputed champion in this division's history is Canelo. School is from the part of Cuba that invented the rumba dance, and we've seen a lot of dancing from School in this one. You know how to rumba? Sergio?
I know how to cumbia. Salsa. You know how to do the robot. You know that.
I thought the Roomba was that vacuum that is electronic by itself, the robot vacuum.
Spent way too much time on Amazon.
Well, School said it was very disrespectful that people were already talking about Canelo versus Crawford later in the year. They're overlooking me as he lands a right hand.
Nice little check. Quick right hand, a little short one. Nothing damaging, but enough to keep frustrating Canelo.
You know, it's interesting. Me and Chris, in the years we worked together, we're always talking about the fighters being boring and moving too much. And usually you defend that fighter. But tonight, you're all in on saying School's being way too negative. Why are you so negative on him?
Because he's getting paid millions of dollars and facing one of the best fighters in the world. This isn't just any type of fight. This is the big stage. You're in Saudi Arabia. His Excellency brought you over here. Do something, man. You gotta shine. You gotta go out on your shield. You gotta make your country proud. Make your countries proud.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. William School is in his early 30s. He's not going to get an opportunity like this again. When you have a chance like this, I guess a fighter like this on a stage like this, not taking advantage of it is crazy.
And fights like these, promoters and networks will never bring you back again.
But we saw that with Rigondeaux, who became almost radioactive to television networks for most of his career.
people watch sports for entertainment. They pay money to be entertained. Sergio, do you think the people who are having to use their bases right now are more entertained or less entertained right now? Probably a little more angry than the sober people.
They're probably throwing the cervezas at the TV.
Well, Danny, you didn't run away from Canelo. How do you see things playing out right now?
We see Canelo Alvarez slightly winning, but
really?
I do think, yes, I say that because he still needs to punch and be effective with his punches. And if he doesn't punch and land clean, effective shots, it's going to be hard depending on how to judge the fight. So for me, when you land a punch and you make contact is when you can win a round. And Canelo leaves, as much as we're complaining about Skull, I also think Canelo Alvarez needs to apply the pressure. He's a world-renowned fighter. He can make the difference in his fight by being effective, by coming forward, cutting the ring off. This is something that we expect from Canelo Alvarez.
Thank you, Danny. Hey, Chris, if his name wasn't Canelo, would you be more critical of him right now in this fight?
I think there's fairness to it. It's not, this isn't a masterclass by Canelo. It's not even a great performance. The punch output is low even for a Canelo Alvarez fight. I just think if you're looking for reasons to blame, this fight playing out the way it is, if you're doing a blame pie, it's like 95% William School. Look, I get what Danny's saying about the scorecards, and Canelo should throw more, but you're just not getting anything thrown back from William School. It's a lot of jabs, occasional right hands, a whole lot of moves. These guys, he's complaining every single time. That's right above the belt line. I mean, Canelo is, in my opinion, having a lot more success here tonight.
There's a body shot from Canelo, answer with a left from School, who gives him that smile again. And hey, who could forget the NFL head coach Dennis Green, who said they were who we thought they were. That's kind of for School. We're criticizing him, but look, this is the way he fights, Sergio. We knew he would fight like this.
Well, look, I respect Daniel Jacobs. I respect boxing judges. Let's just see how they're seeing it, because I do not see this man winning rounds. He's winning out of frustration. The frustration is not one of the elements of winning a round or a fight.
Who's to say one or maybe two of the judges here are appreciating some of the Williams School movement and defensive ability, and they're giving him some of these close rounds. It's not like Canelo is dominating round after round.
No, and Williams School was more active with the jab than was landing shots. I might believe this fight could be closer, but he's not. A lot of his jab, most of his jabs being gobbled up by the defense of Canelo. Right hands are few and far between, and the clean punches, even though they're not as many as we'd like to see, are still being landed by Canelo.
I wish this fight was in a 8. So the 12th and final round. Will we see more of the same? The more Canelo chasing School around the ring.
And look at his Excellency up on his feet on the camera saying, come on, let's go. Let's get the fight going.
A lot of money was placed and invested into this fight, into this event, and right now, Chris Mannix has Canelo ahead 108-101.
Yeah, 108-101. The 2 rounds I gave to Williams School were generous. They were mostly due to a lack of activity in each of those rounds by Canelo Alvarez. But so far, a completely lopsided winning lead for Canelo Alvarez.
I think you're generous with that second round, but yeah, I agree. 2 rounds max.
There's a left hook from Canelo as School momentarily stops moving.
Well, he stopped moving because he landed a jab.
School must have spent a lot of time running backwards on a treadmill in preparation for this fight.
I'll give him this. He's in phenomenal shape, and better shape than he was in for the Vladimir Shishkin fight, where he seemed to fade in the later rounds. He came prepared. He came ready physically. I just don't think he came in with a game plan that was designed to win.
The crowd saying, give us something. Wake us up. School after Canelo landed a body shot.
Arm punches Canelo Alvarez become famous for. Callum Smith ate a lot of them, injured his bicep after that fight with Canelo. Dimitri Bivol, who beat Canelo, came away from that fight with a sore left arm. Part of his repertoire.
I don't know if it's in the book of refereeing, but there should be a point where a referee can take away a point for a fighter not fighting, for a fighter not throwing punches, for moving too much.
You'd have had a lot of points deducted.
Yeah, but I caught him the inside at least. I caught, you know, this man is just running. Look, throws 2 punches on the pipe, moves around for 20 seconds, throws 2 more punches, but never stands still to make this a fight. Williams School didn't come to defend his championship, didn't come to win, came to pick up a check, not get hurt, and get a moral victory for a decision.
A classic confrontation, this was not.
Here are the score totals. Pablo Gonzalez scores it 115-113. Ron McNair has it 116-112. And Denrick Stopdowson has it 119-109. All 3 scores go to the winner by unanimous decision. Canelo Alvarez!
115-113 and 116-112. So 2 judges gave School a lot of credit, as Saul Canelo Alvarez didn't exactly take Williams School to School here tonight, but he does become undisputed again.
All I heard was 119-109. That's the way I saw it.
In Las Vegas in the 12th of September, inshallah. تعال معنا يا محمد.
Here it is, the official face-off. The date, September 12, Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, for the undisputed super middleweight championship of the world. Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Bud Crawford.
Well, Sergio, the future is bright, at least. Can't wait to see Canelo versus Crawford. Your early thoughts on that matchup?
Fantastic matchup. I mean, the brilliance and the switch hitting, the power, the speed, the IQ of Crawford with the size, the power, the experience of Canelo. I mean, that's a can't-miss fight, and it belongs in the stadium.
Chris Mannix is in the ring.
Well, Canelo, congratulations. You are a 2-time undisputed super middleweight champion. Had to work hard out there to get that win tonight. What'd you think of that performance?
Oh, that's why I don't like to fight that kind of guys, you know? They can just to survive, to go to the 12th round. And that's why I don't like them. I hope September coming in other kind of fight.
When you heard one of the judges say 115-113, what did you think?
You don't know. You know, with that kind of fights, anything I can say is, for me, it's a boring fight. You know, like a fighter not try to win or just try to survive, and I hate that kind of fighters.
You knew that he was going to try to move around a lot. Was he trickier to figure out than you originally thought?
No, they do even more than I thought. But it's okay. We win. And we are here with 2 times undisputed champion, and I'm grateful to fight here in Saudi Arabia. And thank you, everybody, for coming to support me, my family, my friend, everybody. And like always I say, ¡Viva México, cabrones!
This is a new experience for you, fighting in Saudi Arabia for the first time, fighting at 6 a.m. probably for the first time. How did your body adjust during this fight?
No, you know, I come 3 weeks before because of that, to adapt myself to this time, everything. I'm okay. I'm a champion. I'm a professional, so that's no excuse and anything.
You knew what was coming if you won this fight. That was a crack at this man, 2-time undisputed champion Bud Crawford. How are you feeling about that fight?
No, I feel great. You know, Crawford is one of the best out there, and you know, I like to share the ring with that kind of fighters, and it's my pleasure.
You changed your tune on wanting this fight over the years. Originally, you didn't want it. Why is now the right time for this fight?
You know, everybody is asking for the fight. My Nino, Turkey Al-Ashi won it, so that's why we are here.
Congratulations, Canelo. Brilliant performance.
Thank you.
Bud, we'll turn to you. You waited a long time for this fight to happen.